Hello, in this week's video of Real Open Trades, I thought I'd take a look at a short sell I've got running in natural gas and a long trade, a more medium-term trade I've got running in platinum. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Have a look how they're going, where I think they might go next, and what I'm doing to manage the trade. So this time round, I thought we'd take a look at natural gas and platinum, two trades I've got running. These are my existing open positions. It's been a good week for trading since I did the last video. I've been rolling oil, so I've traded that one badly, but everything else is going okay. I've got these positions on the pound open. One of them's been running for a couple of weeks. I've added and I've added again, so that's going okay. There's the T-bond trade, the US Treasuries trades. I won't talk about this time round, but I'll talk about these two. Natural gas. So I'm short natural gas from, I think, just over a week ago. And I've been long platinum for a while, a bit longer than that, perhaps a couple of weeks. So first of all, let's take a look at the platinum trade. If we look at platinum over the last couple of years, it's a pretty boring market. It's sideways. It's a big range, relatively speaking, but it's sideways. But I've been watching it this year, and you know, we've had an uptrend. We've had a succession of higher highs and higher lows. Let me take some of this stuff off. Here we go. So you know, we saw the market from November last year start to build a trend, strong run into April, sold off, and it was really from about the middle of July, that I thought, oh, I should be thinking about being a buyer here. And it's come back down. So for those of you who are fans of trend lines, it came back to the trend in August and it held. You know, so for me, I thought it's quite a low risk trade that it perhaps might end up being more of a medium term trade. But either way, I thought it was an interesting one to buy into. So I'm in the trade, and I think there's a couple of you know, different options here when it comes to stop losses. If I wasn't in now, I'd still be a buyer, and probably the closest I would want my stop, based off the daily chart, so this is more of a medium-term trade, is the other side of those lows, those late April lows, which are around about 896. I mean, clearly with platinum, it's one of those markets that it is going to be affected by what happens with the US dollar. We have had some US dollar weakness recently, so that's helped lift the market, amongst other things, although it's a bit of a slow trade so far. But if you look on the hourly charts, you know, it did hit a fresh recovery high just yesterday, or Monday of this week. You know, so far at least, these highs around about 980 are proving to be a bit of a problem. So I'd be happier if we saw a proper move through there, that perhaps it can build up a bit of momentum and start threatening these early July highs up around 1,030. But for now, you know, I'm in the trade. The trend has been up. It's done okay. So let's see what happens. But it needs to move a little bit further. Before we have a quick look at the natural gas trade, the short trade, which has been pretty much a textbook trade. You know, just a quick look. The biggest winner so far for me this month has been this pound trade, pound against the dollar, and it's been a great trade. I did add to it this morning, and I wonder, am I pushing my luck a little bit here? So it's the third trade I'm in for pound against the dollar, but I added it to it this morning with a stop loss a couple of 100 points away, because I think if we do get a sell-off in pound against the dollar, you know, it could be a bit of a correction, but we do have these old lows. So for me, sort of 130.75 is a big level. But you can see trades like this, when they happen, and they don't happen every week, you know, but when you get into a trend like this, you know, this market's gone from 126.50 in August to 132.50 yesterday. So it's moved, you know, 600 points in about 3 weeks, in just under 3 weeks. And it's been a great trend. You know, it's been a trend where we've just seen this market continually push higher. So I'm happy to stick with the trade. I've got trailing stop losses on the trade at the moment. You know, pound against the dollar is at its best levels since March 22. So that's running well, and that's an interesting one. And like I say, I've got the three positions there at the moment. That's the latest one I opened today with that stop loss around a couple of 100 points away. So we'll see how it all turns out for that one. But let's take a look at this natural gas. So natural gas. So I've been short natural gas. I did the trade. When did I do the trade? back on the 20th of August, so just over a week ago. Let's take a look at the chart. So a quick commercial break halfway through. I do a few things. I run a WhatsApp group where I update every day, morning and afternoon, trades I'm doing like today, other markets that are interesting, all of that sort of thing. You can subscribe to the WhatsApp group. If you use the code YouTube, you get 20% off the first month subscription. Go to the website, davidjonestrading.co.uk, to find out more about that. All the links are in the description down below. If you'd like to know who I trade with, that's in the links down below as well. I trade with them because it's tight spreads, no frills, and I can connect it to my TradingView account if I want to. I also run some trading courses, and again, all of that information is on the website. So I think probably what's most relevant to this video is the WhatsApp group, where I provide daily updates of the trades I'm thinking about doing. So if you'd like to try it, go to the website and subscribe. Right, back to the open trades. So I did the trade up here, Tuesday, the 20th of August, and this is where the market is now. So I was short, so that's worked well. And just to take a step back, the reason for the trade, natural gas is a bit of a crazy market, and it's not been the best of markets for me this year. So I was a little bit hesitant perhaps in putting the trade on, but we'd seen the price of natural gas slide since June. So from the 11th of June, when it was $3, we'd seen it slide, and I was selling into this bounce here. Let's just move that up. So I was selling into that bounce there. So I was taking the view, okay, natural gas has slid. We've had a bounce from about 184 up to 220, 225, something like that. But the trend is still down. So that was the whole rationale for the trade. If we look on the hourlies, you'll see it. So here we go. So that had been the downtrend from June. The market had rallied, and I just thought when it was sort of flip-flopping around this 225 area, I thought, well, that surely looks like an interesting area to go short. And if I want to have a stop loss, I'll go a little bit higher than those highs. So those highs right at the beginning of July, around about 240 on the natural gas cash market. So I went short with a stopper, I don't know, let's call it 255. And the market, did, chop around a little bit, but then did start selling off. So it did work well right from the start, pretty much, which again is quite rare for me. Normally I'm never right straight away, which is why I like to have, wide-ish stops to give the market time to move around. So far, this is where we are. I've moved the stop to a trailing stop loss on this trade. It made a new low for the down move yesterday. So I'm quite happy to stay short. Let's see if that low gets taken off. What would make me happier is if we break the old lows from earlier in the month, 185 on the cash market. But that was a really, that was almost like a textbook trade, just based on, just to recap, the trend. The trend had been down for about 2 months. We'd had a bit of a bounce, and I was selling the bounce at a logical place to think about for a stop. If the market moved up through 240, then perhaps this trend was coming to an end. But until that happens, I'm happy to stay short. And that's it. Now I'm in the trade. The stop is trailing. So again, I'm giving the market a bit of time to try and perhaps prove me more right. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with this one. As usual, I'll do an update when it comes to the live stream on this Friday. And we'll take a look at natural gas and see how that's doing. In terms of other markets, there's not a whole lot jumping out at me so far. I think copper's an interesting one for this week. Where's the price of copper? Let's bring up the copper chart. I mean, from the dailies, it's been quite a volatile few months. We had new all-time highs up at 515 on copper, and then it's traded down as low below 4. So we've seen a 20% swing on the price of copper. Is the trend still down? You'd probably argue it is, off those May highs. What's been interesting for me is that the rally since early August is still ongoing. So again, if I want to buy into this trend, this looks like an interesting opportunity. And for me, for stops, I'd probably be thinking of the other side of at least 412, the 22nd of August low. So that might be the next trade for me this week. We'll see what happens, and clearly a lot depends on the US dollar. So that's it. That's a quick insight into the trading. If you want to find out every day what I think about markets. Obviously, there's the WhatsApp group that I've mentioned. You can join that, sign up for a month and see if that's something that suits your trading style. To find out more about how I trade, go to the website, join the newsletter, have a look at the trading courses I run, and we'll have a catch up with all of this on Friday's live stream. So it's been an interesting week or so. Trading's going well. That natural gas trade has done well. It's moved a bit lower again since I first started looking at it over the last couple of hours or so. I'll do an update on Friday in the live stream. If you're new to the channel, if you subscribe, you'll get notifications when I go live normally every Friday, just as the US market is opening. Any questions, please feel free to drop me an email. My email address is dj@davidjonestrading.co.uk. Go to the website to find out more, join the WhatsApp group and get daily updates. But otherwise, I'll be back on Friday. We'll see how these trades and others are doing. So in the meantime, good luck with your trading.